Hey everyone, welcome back to Travels and Tricks. I just got back from an incredible 15-day trip across Europe, and I can't wait to share all the amazing experiences and budget-friendly tips with you. I traveled through Paris, Geneva, Milan, Rome, Nice, and London, finding the best ways to save money and still have a fantastic time. Whether it's your first trip or you're a seasoned traveler, I've got some great advice to help you make the most of your adventure. So, grab your coffee, get comfy, and join me on this journey. Let's get started. Let's start with picking your destinations. If you've got about 15 days, you'll want to be smart about where you go. Here's what I learned. First, set your budget. Europe can really go either way in terms of cost. It can be super affordable or quite pricey, depending on how you approach it. I had to think about how much I was comfortable spending and then break that down into flights, places to stay, getting around, food, and things to see. With some careful planning, I found I could have an amazing time without blowing my budget. Next, choose your destinations wisely. When I was planning my trip, I chose cities that were rich in culture and easy to get around. Paris, Geneva, Milan, Rome, Nice, and London ended up being perfect. They offered a mix of historic sites, local vibes, and great public transport. If you're on a tight budget like I was, pick places where you can walk to most attractions and just soak up the local atmosphere. For example, you can enjoy the Colosseum from the outside in Rome, admire the Eiffel Tower in Paris from nearby parks, or explore the charming streets of Vatican City without spending a dime. Travel during the off-peak season if you can. I went in mid-March, and it was a fantastic decision. Mild weather, fewer crowds, and lower prices, especially for hotels. Just keep an eye on the weather forecast before you pack your bags. When it came to places to stay, look for budget-friendly options like hostels, budget hotels, or vacation rentals. Booking in advance saved me a ton. Sites like Expedia and Booking.com have great deals if you book early. Aim for places that are walkable to the main attractions, but not necessarily right next to them, as those can get pricey. For both flights and local transportation, budget airlines offer some great deals between cities, but you need to watch out for extra fees for luggage. Trains were a scenic and cost-effective way to travel, especially if you book early. Within cities, public transportation is usually affordable. Look for passes or travel cards that offer unlimited rides for a set period, which save me a lot. Meals, local transport, and little daily costs can add up quickly. To keep costs down, mix dining out with meals from local markets or street food vendors. Many European cities have free or low-cost attractions, so do a bit of research ahead of time and plan your days around those. Entrance fees for popular attractions can be pretty steep. Prioritize your must-see sites and look for combination tickets or city passes that provide discounts. For instance, the Paris Museum Pass saved me money and helped me skip long lines. Don't forget to set aside a bit of extra cash for shopping, souvenirs, and any unexpected expenses. I had a small buffer in my budget, and it made a big difference when something unexpected came up. Europe is generally safe, but it's always good to be cautious. Be aware of common scams like fake petitions, overly friendly strangers, and people asking for money in tourist areas. Always keep an eye on your belongings and use a money belt or a hidden pouch for your valuables. Be wary of deals that seem too good to be true, and stick to reputable vendors and services. That's what worked for me, and I hope these tips help you have an amazing budget-friendly adventure in Europe. So let's break down the trip city by city. My first destination was Paris. I had been dreaming of this trip for a long time. I found a fantastic budget flight from Newark, New Jersey to Paris using Google Flights, which was cheaper than flying directly from Detroit. Once in Paris, I used the bus and train to get from Orly Airport to the city center. One great tip for Paris is to get a Paris Museum pass if you plan on visiting several attractions. It can save you both time and money. But if you're sticking to a tight budget, simply wandering around and soaking up the Parisian vibe can be just as rewarding. The city is full of beautiful streets and neighborhoods that feel like living museums. For food, I recommend hitting up local boulangeries or cafes instead of the touristy spots. I usually started my day with a fresh croissant and an amazing French coffee from a nearby boulangerie. For lunch, a simple sandwich from a local cafe was both delicious and budget-friendly. After a lot of walking, I treated myself to dinner at a local restaurant, which was often cheaper and more authentic than eating in the tourist areas. This way, I got to enjoy the local cuisine without breaking the bank. I took a scenic train ride from Paris to Geneva, which was not only comfortable, but also offered stunning views of the French and Swiss countryside. Traveling light is a smart move here, as local flights can be cheap if you avoid luggage fees. In Geneva, many hotels provide a Geneva transport card for free public transport. Don't miss Lake Geneva and the Jet d'Eau. They're iconic sites that are well worth your time. Walking around the city center is a great way to explore, and you'll often find charming spots just by wandering. Next on my itinerary was a scenic train ride to Milan. Known for its fashion and design, Milan is also rich in history. I explored the city's main attractions and soaked in the vibrant atmosphere. To keep food expenses low, I recommend checking out local markets and eateries. Rome. Rome was next, and wow, what a city! The ancient ruins, stunning architecture, and lively streets make it a must-visit. Walking around and taking in the city's history and atmosphere is essential. The streets are like open-air museums. For a budget-friendly tip, consider staying in neighborhoods that are slightly off the beaten path, but still central enough to explore easily. Nice. I had planned to fly from Rome to Nice, but unfortunately, I missed my flight. Instead, I ended up taking a train and bus to Nice. While this was an unexpected detour, it turned into a delightful adventure, allowing me to see more of the Italian and French countryside. Nice is a beautiful city on the French Riviera, and it's a great place to relax and enjoy the Mediterranean vibe. After 10 days of walking around, it was really relaxing. Even though I stayed only one night and one day, I highly recommend staying at least 2 or 3 days to fully enjoy this beautiful city. London. Finally, I ended my trip in London. Even though I was mainly there for a concert and to catch up with friends, I did manage to explore a bit. London is known for its high prices, so plan ahead for accommodations and meals. Use ride apps to get around efficiently, especially if you're tired from all the walking. That's a wrap on my 15-day European adventure. I hope these tips and insights into each city I visited help you plan your next trip. Don't forget to check out my other videos for more detailed guides and travel advice from each European city I explored. What's your top budget-friendly European destination, or which city are you most excited to visit next? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. If you enjoyed this video and want more travel tips and city guides, subscribing is the best way to stay updated. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.